Hey everyone, I'm Rebecca, a second year student nurse at the University of Nottingham. Welcome back to my channel, and if you've not seen a video of mine, then welcome. This week on my placement experiences, I'm hopping onto my second year and I'm talking about my first placement of second year, which was healthcare of older people, formerly known as HCOP, and it was in a dementia specialty. I was there from November to December of 2019. I was there, well actually it was the end of October really, so I was there from like just before Halloween until just before Christmas, and this placement was in a different trust to the previous wards that I've been on before. Again, disclaimer, I will not be disclosing any of the trusts names, any of the hospital names, any of the ward names, or any of the staff members' names for confidentiality reasons. If you are familiar with the University of Nottingham and where we work, then you might be able to guess as to where my placements were, but I'm not going to disclose them at all. But have fun guessing. I was 19 on this placement, and obviously being healthcare of the older people, all of the patients were over the age of 65, and being a dementia speciality, a lot of the patients had dementia. So I'm going to go through my pros of this placement, my cons of this placement, give it an overall rating with my final comments. Starting off with the positives of this placement, so this trust is a lot closer to my family house than the other ones were, so I got to stay with my family for 6 weeks, which was really nice. There was also 2 other girls that I lived with who were staying in the area as well, but they were staying in a hotel, but we were all at the same hospital, so I still got to see some of my friends while I was here, and I got to stay with my family, which was great. Secondly, I loved this team. It was probably the best MDT that I'd worked with. Everyone made me feel so comfortable straight away. Especially since I hadn't worked on a ward for over a year, I was so nervous coming here, but the team made me feel so settled in. Even the doctors, I knew that I could walk into the office, name any of the doctors and ask them for something and they would help me. They wouldn't just shoo me off, and I felt a lot more comfortable on this placement than I have in some areas previously. The team was amazing. I love working with older people for one, so this placement was great because I love working with older people because they always have amazing stories, and I also loved learning about dementia. I kind of fell in love with dementia as a speciality while I was there. Again, on this placement there was a lot of basic nursing, but a lot of these patients didn't need 2 people, so everything was a lot quicker and I could actually do a lot of stuff by myself. So I was taking my own patients quite a lot during this placement, which was amazing because it helped me to be able to build my confidence that I knew what I was doing. I also got to learn a lot about mental health. There was a mental health nurse in the area, and I also got to do an insight with liaison psychiatry, which was really great. So I got to find out about what they do and how they handle all types of patients. This placement was probably my first time with other students. I had the 3rd year on my first placement, but he was only there for a few weeks. And then on my community placement there was another student, but she was working with a different team, so we never got to work with each other. But I actually got to work with other students here, including students from the local college. So it actually gave me some teaching opportunity as well, so I got to teach some of the younger college students some of my skills. Also, this hospital trust always put on amazing teaching opportunities for the students while they're there. We got given a timetable at the beginning of different teaching sessions they were doing, which are run by specialist nurses to be able to teach the students about their speciality. Even when I was on shift, one of the people from the education team called me up on the ward to make sure that we knew that this was happening one day so that we could all go down and enjoy it. This hospital also let me buy a parking permit. The student parking permit was very cheap. It was for 12 weeks. I think it was about £6 for 12 weeks. I wasn't there for 12 weeks, but that's how long it lasted for. But it was super cheap, so it basically meant like every single shift I was barely spending any money. Whereas if I was to pay the actual car parking fee, it's like £8 a day. So for £6 for 12 weeks, pretty good. Now for the cons of this placement, this hospital trust has longer shifts, so it's 13-hour shifts for long days instead of 12.5, which half an hour doesn't seem like a lot, but sometimes it can be. In that last little bit of the shift you are lagging and you are really tired. Sometimes I was like running out the door because I was just so tired. I just really wanted to get home. Also, the ward could be heavy. You know, a lot of the patients had dementia, and dementia patients can be difficult. If you've ever worked with dementia patients, you know, sometimes they can be aggressive. I did have some patients who were not very nice sometimes, and then obviously some of them are not compliant, not on purpose. Sometimes they just don't remember what you ask them to do. You can ask them to do something and then you come back and they still haven't done it. So it could be quite difficult, it could be very heavy, but I still thought it was great. I absolutely adored all of my patients. Overall, I would give this placement a 9 out of 10. This placement has probably been my favourite placement so far. A toss-up between that one and my second year placement. My second year placements have just been so amazing. I just love this place. I love the hospital, I loved the staff, I loved the patients. I just loved it there. Absolutely brilliant. Okay guys, so that's it for this week's video. If you enjoyed hearing about my experience working with dementia patients in HCOP, then please give this video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button to be able to hear about my next placement, my final second year placement, which was in orthopedics, and make sure you hit the bell icon so you don't miss that. I will see you guys next week for the last video. See you later. Bye.